Al Snow was on Vince Russo's podcast, The Brand, this week. It's not often that I get to check out a Vince Russo show. For the most part, Vince Russo's opinions are those I try to avoid. But I do respect Al Snow, and Al Snow had a pretty good rant going on this particular episode, talking about the state of the business nowadays and how wrestlers are working for the dirt sheets now, working for that 5-star rating, 6-star, 7-star rating, instead of just working for the business. And he was particularly heated about this. Check out this clip.
The reason I am discrediting this is because of the fact that its source material comes directly out of the mouth of a person who has never once done this inside the wrestling business. He has been on the peripheral from the beginning as a fan, has never been in it and done it for a living. And unfortunately, those that are now in it and are attempting to do it for a living subscribe to this and ascribe to this opinion.
Why is that?
Where they will
why is that? Why?
Because he carries more sway and influence now than gate receipts do.
What kind of name for a wrestler is Al Snow? Ugh. There's a funny story. I was recently just finished the There's Just One Problem book from Brian Gewirtz, the former head writer for WWE. And in this book, he told a story about he was hanging out maybe in the writing room or something with Vince. And Vince just randomly, like Al Snow wasn't around. They weren't talking about Al Snow, just out of the clear blue sky. Vince just pops his head up and was just like, kind of wrestling name is Al Snow anyway? Ugh. That was it. And just continued to just fucking randomly. Apparently Vince hated Al Snow. I just had to share that part because it's funny as shit. But yeah, you know what? Al Snow is also one of the bitter, old, grumpy, old, grizzled old vets nowadays. And that, complains about everything in the current business and back in my day. But he has a point here. He's not wrong about this at all. I think Meltzer has taken over an entire generation of wrestling fans, or of wrestlers, I should say, or fans that became wrestlers, All these people grew up on Meltzer's star ratings and his dirt sheets and that kind of shit. So now they're all going out there and they're all just working towards getting that fucking Meltzer approval. What's the Observer got to say about me today? That's the wrong way to think. No, you gotta, look, if I'm a wrestler and I get a 5-star match or a 4-star match or whatever, like, I'm going to be like, dope, that's sweet. I'm proud of that. And I can't tell you that I wouldn't listen to what Meltzer has to say, but that's just one fucking guy's opinion. He's prominent. He is, probably the wrestling journalist still, right? Sean Ross Sapp's right up there. Wade Keller was pretty close, but I feel like he's kind of faded back nowadays, even though he's still doing it. He's just not as prominent, but there's lots of great journalists doing it, but Meltzer's the guy. But these wrestlers that are out there just, living or dying by what Meltzer has to say about shit, that's just, it's not the way to live as a professional wrestler. You got to worry about the business, man. Don't worry about having a 5-star match. 5-star matches are good, but you need them for like pay-per-views, certain angles and matches call for it. But look, if you just need to like have a fucking, just a bing bang boom, just a quick little fucking simple match or something, don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to work towards character and personality and storyline instead of just trying to take the biggest bump and the highest dive and the flippity floppity and that kind of stuff. And plus, Meltzer has a particular fondness for the flippy floppy Young Bucks style of match. And people working towards that. I don't know. It's a new generation, right? That's what the kids are into these days. They want that badge of honor, the Meltzer stars or whatever. But look, Al Snow's got a point, as grumpy of an old man as he is, he's somebody that at least for me, like when he has something to say, I listen and I respect it. He's very smart to the business, even though he wasn't the biggest star and he wasn't the most over or anything like that. He certainly has one of the best minds, and he's not a bad guy to have around and to be getting opinions from. Vince Russo, on the other hand, not so much. I wouldn't take much from Russo at all. Like I said, I try to avoid his podcast if I can, but look, if there's something newsworthy on it, then certainly we'll share that. And I thought Al Snow going on this rant about Meltzer was particularly something I wanted to share with you guys. So let me know what you thought. On to the next. Hey, thanks for checking out that clip. Don't forget to check out other clips here on the channel. And while you're there, throw a like, throw a subscribe. And don't forget to check out full episodes each and every Sunday of the Pro Wrestling Podcast.